Everybody, guess what? We are live. I'm back with Staci Davis with Waves in Fairview. How are you doing today?
Doing good, doing good. How are you?
Well, good, good. Life in quarantine, we're all just making it work.
Figuring it out. Yeah, figuring it out.
You and I were just chatting. Waves is based in Fairview, Tennessee. Can you tell everybody a little bit about what you guys do and the programs you offer to the community?
Yes, so 47 years ago, Waves began in Fairview, and when it was a group of parents who came together who had children that had intellectual or developmental disabilities, and they decided that they didn't want to institutionalize their children because that was kind of what you did back then. There wasn't support, there wasn't services available, and these parents said, we're not going to do that. We want to support it. We're going to figure this out. And so they decided that they were going to make waves in the community for this population. And so as they incorporated and became a nonprofit to gain more support from the county, they were told, well, you need to serve not just Fairview, you need to serve the entire county of Williamson County. And so they said, okay. And so we're kind of headquartered and based in Franklin now, but we still do run a day center out in Fairview, and we have a couple of homes because we have what grew from just providing day programming for these individuals. We now have a ton of different resources and services for this population. And so we've got an early learning program that serves children that are 0 to 3. And what we do is we provide developmental intervention for those children. If they've been diagnosed with a developmental delay or with a developmental diagnosis, we serve those children to help them so that they can catch up or be on a closer playing field or level them out to where when they enter school, they're kind of on the same level as their peers. And then we have our adult program picks them back up at age 22. And we have our day centers where we've got one in Franklin and one in Fairview. And then we have our residential programs. So we've got 7 homes scattered throughout Williamson County where people are they live full time and they're learning independent life skills. We have 24/7 support for them at those homes. And then we also provide job coaching. So if anybody wants to get a job or figure out if they want to get a job, just try to test it out, we provide that job coaching for them and placement. So we work with businesses within the community so that we can find those good places for our people to be able to plug in and really just reach their full potential. Because if you want a job, you should be able to get one, regardless of a disability. And so those are all of our services that we have. And then we also have another program. We have an office recycling program where businesses can sign up to do office recycling. And we have recipients that come around with some of our staff, and they pick up recycling from the offices and then take it to the appropriate places. So just another way for businesses that might not be able to hire someone, they can still come into contact and meet our people and be exposed to waves in our population.
That's incredible. I knew a couple of those things. I didn't realize how much you guys did in the community. That's pretty amazing. You and I were just talking. You're unable to offer the program in Franklin right now, the day program, because of COVID-19.
Yeah, COVID-19 has made us, like everyone, kind of shift and pivot and figure out how we can still operate and do our stuff. So our day centers are temporarily closed right now just because it's not safe for the health of our individuals or our staff members to be able to come in, because our day centers are very community focused. They come to the day center every day, but we're sending them out into the community to do things like going to the parks and the library and the Adventure Science Center and doing activities and stuff. And that's just we can't do that. It's not safe. We can't. So our centers have been temporarily closed, but our residential program, those 7 homes that we have that are serving 28 people right now, those are fully functioning because those are their homes. They don't have anywhere else to go. We provide them that. And so they've got 24-hour support that comes into the home. So our direct service, our direct support professionals, DSPs, They're out there. We're considered an essential business because we have to provide services for these people.
Talk about the longevity. You were just telling me you have someone who started the program 47 years ago and they're still a part of it today, which I think is great. Can you talk to that a little bit?
Yeah, so one of our service recipients, when the family, one of those original families started Waves, he was one of the first recipients in the program, and he still goes and attends our day center in Fairview. So right now we're not getting to serve him as much, but yeah, we still have some of our original service recipients.
That's so great. Just like a lot of other nonprofits in the area, obviously, with not being able to open your centers, your incoming money is down right now. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we our services are free. Free to the recipients. We do have a few people who don't receive state funding for their children, and so we do have the option to do pay per service. But the majority of our recipients receive their services for free, which means we get to bill and receive reimbursement for the services that we provide. And with our day centers closed, we aren't getting that money. And so I think we were calculating when we first said that we were going to close the day centers temporarily. We're losing about $26,000 a month that our day centers are closed, which is hard. That's hitting really hard because that's providing like infrastructure for the rest of the organization. That's payment for our DSPs. That's programming that we can provide in other areas, and we're not able to right now. So that's tough. It is good that we have our residential programs still open because we're able to receive that funding and everything, but 100% of the funding doesn't cover 100% of the programming. And so we're always kind of trying to cover that deficit in some kind of way. And when you're just at a loss of the original funding, it's just hard.
Right. And you did mention you are offering telehealth for those who are interested in that.
Yeah, so we do have our early learning interventionists are still working hard. We serve, we've probably got over 450. I haven't heard an exact number in a week or two. So we've probably got over 450 children active within our early learning program. And so those early learning interventionists have shifted to where instead of going into the homes or going to daycare centers and stuff like that, they're doing it via telehealth. And so they're providing intervention through Zoom, just like we could do, which is important because the parents need that. Our early learning director told us the other day, she said that, at the end of a session, the mom didn't really realize that Zoom was still on, and because they were just logging off, and she just looked over and she was like, oh, I needed that. Just getting that interaction and like that support, because a lot of times these parents who have a child who's received a diagnosis or see that their child has a delay of some sort, it can be scary and you can feel really isolated even when we aren't in quarantine.
Right.
And so having that support, and then when you're told you can't leave and you don't want to leave because you have an at-risk child, your child could be more at risk than the typical developed child. So having that connection, being able to speak to your interventionist once a week is helpful.
Yes, I agree. You and I were just talking, since you mentioned that your program has a deficit, and this will go for a lot of nonprofits in our community. May 6th is the big payback, which is just around the corner. So tell us about how you guys use that to help fund your program.
Yes, so Waves will be participating in the Big Payback, which for those that might not know, the Big Payback is presented by Middle Tennessee Community Foundation, and it's a online like 24 blitz of fundraising for nonprofits all across the region. And so starting May 6th at 6 p.m., that's when it kind of starts. Nonprofits will be raising money and we'll be trying to get funds. They have different challenges that they do throughout the 24 hours. So you might see things pop up like, we need as many like individual donors, and so like donating $5 5 times, that gives you your $25 donation. You know, they just have different things that you can do that allows access for the nonprofit to get more money from the foundation.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's really neat how they do it. And so we'll start to flood our social media channels soon about getting people ready about the big payback.
Well, it's been great talking to you, learning more about waves. I knew a little bit, but I feel like I've learned even more today. Can you tell everybody where they can find more information if they have a child that they would like to become part of your program?
Yes. So to find out more about Waves, you can go to our website, which is Waves Inc. That's wavesinc.com.
All right. Well, thank you.
And you can find us there too. So.
Okay, great. Well, thank you. We will talk to you soon. You guys go check them out. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Bye.